When I'm invited out to dinner, I love to take my host a gift. And what's better than chocolate-covered macadamia nuts? I'm going to be using milk chocolate for this. As it's melting, just remember to give it a little stir so it doesn't get too hot. Some sugar. We're going to take about 100 grams of sugar. Sprinkle the sugar into the pan. And try to get a really nice even layer of sugar there. Now the pan will get quite hot quite quickly. Watch that it doesn't colour too much around the sides. I'm just going to add a little bit of water into the pan and give that a good stir around. Now we're going to pop in the macadamia nuts and keep them moving while you're adding. What's going to happen is the sugar's going to start to crystallise and cook around the nuts. Let's just keep them moving at all times. And let's look for that gorgeous golden colour. If your pan gets a little bit hot and you can see the nuts are beginning to burn, just turn the heat down a little bit. I'm going to use a silicone mat here. Wow, these are looking nearly perfect now. They're beautiful and golden. So let's get them out onto the mat. This is like 2/3 melted, so I'm going to remove it from the heat, leaving the bain-marie there. Now, I really like to keep my cloth underneath the bowl. A little bit of the chocolate isn't melted here, but that's how I want it. There's enough heat in this bowl now to make sure that the chocolate's going to be completely melted. I'm just going to pop that into the fridge now to begin the cooling process. So while the chocolate's coming down to temperature, let's get ready for the next stage. We're going to take some icing sugar, just enough to cover the tray. And then sieve it onto your tray, just like newly fallen snow. The last thing we're going to need is a tray for when they come out of the sugar. It's slightly thickened, we can see it's viscous, and I'm almost certain that it's the right temperature. Now this is my very, very special double dipper. So we're going to take some of the macadamia nuts and drop them into the chocolate. This is the fun part. This is where you get to fish around in the chocolate pot. In, fish them out, give a little tap on the side, and then into the sugar. Now, don't worry if you haven't got one of these snazzy little tools. I'm going to show you just how you can manage without one. You need to use your hand. So we're just going to take about 4 or 5 of the nuts and drop them down the edge of the bowl. And then just with the fingertips, because we don't want to get too messy, you've got to keep one hand clean. So just on the side of the bowl, roll them around in the chocolate and then drop them into the sugar. See, still pretty clean really, on one completely clean hand. This hand, your clean hand, is going to be just knocking these around in the sugar so they get completely enrobed. I'm barely touching them at all, and I'm only using my fingertips. You can see that they're still just a little bit soft, so I'm going to leave them for 4 to 5 minutes in the icing sugar until I can feel that they're firm enough for me to pick up. All that remains is some stunning packaging. I think someone's really going to be looking forward to seeing me. That has to be the perfect gift for the perfect host.